It's your boy Ricky. We back at it again. Before we start, I want to say thank you a lot to everybody who subscribed. We are at right now we're at, I think, 105. Let me check. Subscribers. I'm pretty sure around there. Check. Loading, and I'm at oh snap, I'm at 108. So for those of y'all who subscribe, thank y'all so much. Appreciate y'all. And yeah, please, if you're new, please subscribe. Those of y'all that coming back, again, I appreciate y'all coming back. I hope the videos are looking good. I'm trying my best to edit them better, you know, and stuff like that. So yeah, I know they'd be a little lagging, I think, but I'm trying my best to fix that. Like I said, I'm still new to all this. So yeah, let's get to it, man. Today we're gonna react to wrestlers who need to win a championship in 2024. Now, there's a lot of wrestlers that need this. LA Knight needs to be one of them. The sooner, the better. Chad Gable needs that singles title, 100%. Jade Cargill, 100% needs it as well. Those are my not pet peeves. I was gonna say pet peeves. What the fuck? My top 3 that I need to win a championship. Now, as far as Jade goes, I know it's gonna be hard to give her the women's titles, but who knows? Maybe she can go to NXT, win the North American Women's title that's being there soon. Which I find it weird that NXT is having a mid-card championship for the women first than the main roster, so that's weird. Or maybe they make a women's mid-card title on the main roster and give it to Jade. I know they might likely gonna give it to Bianca and Jade, the women's tag title, so I'll be good with that too. But those are really the 3 I need. And Liv Morgan needs that women's world heavyweight title. I get it, you know, it's a bigger story and shit, but like at the same time, it's like we already seen what Becky can do. She was the face of the women's division for like 2019 or 2020. We get it. It's just we just got to see Liv, because like for the first time in a long time, Liv is doing good work with the heel things and the revenge tour she's doing. So yeah, but we're gonna check out who are these wrestlers that you know, who he thinks should win championships this year. And yeah, I know LA Knight's definitely gonna have to be in the list. So does Chad Gable. So let's go. Let me turn this up. Not too much though. Let's get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Delightful and I enjoy wrestling. As such, I sat down and got to thinking about every single wrestler who I feel needs to win a championship in 2024. Let me know who your picks to carry gold this year are in the comments down below, and be sure to leave a like if you enjoy and want to support the content. So the first name I had in mind is one I reckon most people will have, and that's none other than the man they call the Megastar. Yeah! Now, listen, I never said some of the people I had in mind weren't going to be predictable, but come on. People have hopped on the LA Knight bandwagon super hard ever since this time last year, and this gravy train has kept on rolling for months, with some folks even lobbying for him to be the guy to defeat Roman Reigns back in Crown Jewel a few months ago. And while I think it ultimately was best that he didn't conquer the Tribal Chief, that doesn't mean I'm not eager to see some gold around the waist of Knight. Notably, around the rise of his popularity during the lead up to the Money in the Bank 2023 event in London, it seemed that Knight and the current US champ and social media megastar Logan Paul were throwing some verbal barbs at one another. As such, I think there's a solid likelihood that Knight and Paul mix it up sometime during this year for that sweet United States gold. And more than likely, Knight's gonna be the megastar who takes the W in that match as well as the title. Another superstar on the SmackDown brand who I'd love to see have a run with some gold is none other than the center of the universe herself, Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy has only been on the main roster so long, and if you can believe it, she's only been wrestling for a handful of years overall. However, in that time, she has made quite the impression backstage, as well as to us fans who've had the pleasure of watching her work. Her prettiest moonsault ever is an understatement in my opinion, but outside of her ring work, she has done phenomenally well at portraying herself as a dastardly heel, insistent on making everything in the world about her, with even the 19th of April SmackDown serving to showcase how she can make everything about her in an instant by by interrupting the main event of Bayley vs. Naomi and causing a disqualification in the process. As such, I'm optimistic that Tiffy time will arrive this year as she lays claim to the WWE Women's Championship, or perhaps they even introduce the Women's Intercontinental Championship and crown her as the inaugural champion instead. Either way, I'm looking forward to seeing her with some fresh new jewelry in 2024. Another woman who has been making quite the impact, this time as part of the Red brand, is Liv Morgan. From her days in the Riot Squad, Liv has evolved incredibly as a performer to become a genuine contender for just about every title in WWE. Her first round with World Title Gold came after a cash-in on Ronda Rousey, which I'd imagine most of us were excited for when it first happened. However, the ensuing run that came with the SmackDown Women's Gold was mediocre at best, and did little to further any stories for Liv, and was frankly a bit of a letdown. However, with Triple H now firmly at the head of creative, I imagine that Liv's current heel run, following her both kayfabe and actually injuring former Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley, is going to be a wonderful run to watch. Notably, the story that is going to happen is that as soon as Mommy comes back, she's going to start chasing down both the title and the woman who forced her to vacate it. This is being recorded before this, but as of the Monday, the 22nd of April, there will have been a battle royal to decide the new Women's World Champion, and if I'm a betting man, I reckon Liv Morgan is going to be the one winning the whole thing. Again, probably to set up that feud with Ripley once she's back. And well, we just touched on Mommy, so let's swerve our attention to her poppy, Dominic Mysterio. You see, Dom has been on quite the incredible run ever since he turned heel back at Clash of the Castle 2022 and aligned himself with the Judgment Day, which I actually made a full video about if you want to check it out after this one. Anywho, in this time since joining the faction, he has captured gold in the form of the NXT North American Championship. However, with how much he's featured, as well as the immense talent he possesses as a heel, it would be foolish not to strap more gold to the waist of Dominic. As far as a specific title goes, I could see him maybe beating either Sammy for the Intercontinental title, or perhaps LA Knight for the US Championship if he wins that, and the WWE draft shakes down in a way where the two could actually face off. And despite these two being pretty great options, I'd say, I'm gonna go for a very outside pick and say Dom's gonna be winning the NXT title this year. I say this because in the current landscape of the main roster, there are wheels in place that I'm not certain lead to Dom becoming champion on either Raw or SmackDown. Plus, with NXT being part of the draft this year properly, and Dom being one of the top heels in the company, I can see him potentially being drafted to the Gold brand for him to be the guy to take the title off of Ilya as the Dragon goes on to the main roster. And while we're on the Judgment Day, we might as well shift our attention to the current World Heavyweight Champion, Damian Priest. Damian has only recently become champion, and credit where it's due, his cash-in was very good, and he managed to create several branching storylines off the back of it. However, I am hesitant to say that he'll be holding on to that gold. Rather, I think it might even be another member of the Judgment Day who will take it off him. That somebody is Finn Balor. Now, Finn has not held a world title since vacating the Universal Championship on Raw less than 24 hours after winning it, but he has stayed a contender over the years, and notably last year feuded with Seth Rollins over the championship Priest now holds. And if you remember in those matches, Priest unintentionally cost Balor on more than one occasion, which led to some friction in the group, which is definitely something I could see resurfacing sometime here soon. And nowadays with Damian having the World Heavyweight title, he's seemingly been throwing his weight around to the other members of Judgment Day a little more. And while those cracks from before haven't fully resurfaced yet, it's only a matter of time before his demons catch up to him. Most fans are hoping to see the match take place at SummerSlam, but I low-key feel like it would be a lot more engaging of a story if this year in Canada for Money in the Bank, Finn captures the briefcase. Then for months you can have Priest falling into delusion that his title reign would be ending at the hands of one of his most trusted allies, and thus pushes Finn away. From there we could see it all dissolve in a sneaky cash-in, or perhaps a pre-announced cash-in for Balor to finally take his place at the top of the mountain which he was robbed of all those years ago. Now, shifting away from some longtime baddies in the Judgment Day, I want to take a moment to focus on some newfound heels, specifically Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. You see, I'm a fairly big
the shit I gotta deal with. Fucking hate neighbors. Alright, let's get back to it, man.
a big Chad Gable fan, as well as a pretty big fan of the Creeds too. And with them now being rumored to be a faction together, I figured it may be best to package them together here for the sake of this video. You see, for about 7 months now, Chad Gable has been hunting down the Intercontinental title, which he challenged Gunther for all the way back in September of 2023. Since then, the title has changed hands to Sami Zayn, and after a match between the two of them, Gable brutally beat the Ultimate Underdog down. It's my belief, which I better explain in the video on screen now, that that Chad Gable is going to be allying with the Creeds to take that title off of Sammy. Specifically looking to break down Sammy over the next couple of weeks and most likely take it off him at one of the upcoming pay-per-views. And those Creeds in particular are one talented tandem. Since arriving on the main roster late last year, the pair have been putting on some incredibly impressive performances between the ropes. And it stands to reason that because we have the comedy babyface tag team The Awesome Truth as the current World Tag Team Champions, that they will have those titles taken away by an impressive pair of heels. And well, that's where Julius and Brutus come in to take the titles and secure all the gold for what I'm affectionately calling right now Team Gable. And while mentioning Gable there, I did name drop the next person who I believe needs to win a championship this year, and that's gonna be Gunther. You see, ever since his debut in NXT UK, as well as several of his years on the independent circuit, I have fallen in love with the serious, no-nonsense ring general. His run with the Intercontinental Championship was legendary, but I believe the time is coming for Gunther to embark on an all-new reign, this time with a World Championship. Now, because we're technically doing this for 2024, I'm not 100% certain which title he takes and when, but there are two options. One, he stays on the Raw brand, and following Finn Balor capturing the World Heavyweight Championship, he chooses to chase him down, which would be incredible as these two haven't faced off under the WWE banner as of yet, and what I found online when doing some research for this video, they just haven't really had a proper feud ever, so now would be a great time to do that. Or two, he ends up on SmackDown and chooses to go after the man who cost him the main event of WrestleMania 39, aka Cody Rhodes, which I would personally have him do by winning the 2025 Royal Rumble match, aka the same match Cody eliminated him from, and then going on to challenge Cody at Mania 41. I know it's technically cheating based on this video's premise, but regardless, I know and you know that Gunther versus Cody Rhodes would undeniably slap. So whether it's Cody or Finn or whoever else he has to pin, I am firmly of the belief that Gunther will be a world champion in the very near future. Anyways, those are all the wrestlers who, in my opinion, need to win a world championship in 2024. Special shout out to DIY, who I hope take the titles off the Creeds if they win those.
I don't know about that. Looks like they're breaking up. Jade. I like this. I like this video. But nah, man, I like what he said. It makes sense. I agree with a lot of things. I will say, as I was going through the video, I feel like Zelina Vega definitely needs a championship. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but they need to build her up again and definitely give her that championship. But yeah, no, I agree with a lot of these things. And as far as Dom, what I was trying to say is he should go to SmackDown, probably win the US title, but then that's going to be LA Knight and da-da-da. But who knows, maybe he'll take it off of him, get more heat, or maybe he even go down to NXT again, give the NXT championship, which I wouldn't mind. It gives him great exposure and shit. Trying to think. Well, look, YouTube. Yeah, that's it for this video. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and yeah, looking out.